Hey guys, here's what my last high school midterm week looked like. Just for reference, this is the schedule I was working with. Pretty stacked, but definitely manageable. Like any great week does, started off with some bench press. During midterms, APs, or finals, when I know I'm going to be doing a lot of studying, I usually try and work out earlier in the day. I just kind of feel distracted when I try and study before I've lifted. I just think about the gym instead of what I'm trying to study. So I did this in the morning, 11:50ish, because I slept in, and then I got to the gym, realized I forgot my key, had to go back and get it so I can get into the firehouse. So it was a whole ordeal. Started later than I wanted to, but it's whatever. So this was an upper body day. I've been running upper lower rest, push-pull legs rest since football ended, and I've really liked it a lot. I've never progressed so much in such a short period on all my lifts. I'm just about back to my off-season strength, even though I'm around 5 pounds lighter, and football only ended a month and a half ago, so I've really enjoyed it so far. I recorded an upper body day routine video that I'm going to drop, I think, next week, whenever I get the time to edit it, but uploads are going to be much more frequent now that it's second semester senior year. I'm going to have a lot more free time, and I want to try and grow this channel a little bit more before I head off to college. I've started doing unilateral exercises for my arms just because I've noticed a little bit of a muscle imbalance since I returned from football, especially when I'm doing barbell curls or when I'm benching and trying to lock out the reps, my tricep difference. So I'm hoping I can even that out over time if I just do unilateral exercises for triceps and biceps. If you're not familiar with the purpose of unilateral exercises, essentially it's you start with your weaker arm and you go to failure, and then you do the same amount of reps on the other arm, even if that's not the failure for that arm. And then over time, that weaker arm should catch up because it's being pushed to failure more consistently than your stronger arm. And I know I just did a whole thing glazing unilateral exercises for the arms, but here I am doing tricep dips. It's just a really good compound exercise for increasing your bench. And I want to hit a 365 bench before graduation, so I'm going to keep spamming my dips on top of the unilateral stuff. Eating lunch right now. About to plan out what I'm going to do today and the rest of the week, and then just get to studying. Got AP Lit tomorrow, Calc the day after that, Gov the day after that, and then Bio on Friday. So I want to do a little bit of everything today, but the most pressing matters are Calc and Lit, so I'm going to get to that first. Even though I said I was going to do Calc and Lit first, I ended up doing some Gov review after lunch. I always just find that the more important things I like to leave till later so I can focus my full attention on them without having to think about what I need to do after that. I reviewed Unit 1 by retyping our notes from Google Classroom, which took around 2 hours to do. After I had dinner and showered, I did a model short response for Calc, which took about another hour. Before bed that night, I reviewed the poems I knew would be on the AP Lit exam and some important literary terms and Macbeth quotes. I wasn't super worried about AP Lit since the class is pretty easy normally, so I was able to go to bed feeling pretty good about the next day. After the 12:55 to 2:55 exam, I hit legs. Took me a little bit to get to the gym, just because after the test I was standing around with my friends in the school lounge talking about how it went. A lot of them said it was really, really difficult. I didn't think it was too bad. There were definitely like a couple difficult multiple choice, but overall I thought it went well, and I thought the short response was really, really good. Started off the leg day with squats because what is a leg day without barbell squats? 315 flew during the warm-up, so I knew I was going to have a pretty good day. I grinded out 345 for 4, which is an all-time rep PR with that weight, so I was really happy about that. The main thing that's made me stronger on squat as I've gotten back into it is just getting the mechanics down and the bracing and stuff like that. I don't think my legs were that much weaker, really. It's more just that I wasn't used to the movement like I used to be. So now that I'm getting back into the swing of things, I'm really seeing that improvement again. Since I was feeling so good, I decided to go for some singles. I started off with 365, which moved really smoothly. Bracing was nice, and I was able to hit that with no issue. So I loaded up 385, which was my all-time PR, and I was able to do it. It was definitely a very difficult rep. I had to grind it out really hard, but I got it up, which is all that matters. So I'm already back to my pre-football strength on squat, which is really, really cool. After some RDLs, which I didn't end up recording, I did some leg extensions, kind of at a weird point at the firehouse gym. because I can max out the machine with one leg, so I don't really have any other way to progress on leg extensions unless I end up buying a gym pin, which I don't really want to do. So I might have to start hitting legs at the JCC because the leg extension machine is much heavier there, and I'm able to do 2 legs and not even do the full stack and push to failure. So there's a lot of room to progress there, where at the Firehouse I'm pretty limited on leg extensions. To end the session, follow this up with some single leg hamstring curls on the same machine, and then I did some Smith machine calf raises with 3 plates. So that ended my leg workout, and then I went home and got right to studying.
Midnight right now. Not that tired. Just surprising. Normally I'm pretty knocked out by this time. But did some calc multiple choice. Did some bio terms review. And now I'm going to do some gov and print out some calc stuff for tomorrow morning. I have my test at 1, so I'm gonna be able to study in the morning, which is gonna be really useful. I'll probably go to bed in like an hour and a half, and you get up in the morning, I don't know, 8 or 9, and then keep working. So that's that.
Had calculus today. Pretty chill test, pretty light. Now I'm working on a scholarship application for Virginia Tech, and then after that, gonna do some gov and some bio. Last 2 tests left. Gov's tomorrow morning, bright and early at 8, and then bio is Friday at 12. No, it's Friday at 11. I want to say. So, gonna work on that, and no gym today. Rest day today, so pretty boring day, but you know, pretty useful because I got a lot of stuff to get done. So I'm gonna shower and then hop on gov and bio after dinner and grind that out. So that'll be fun.
9:20 right now. Did some Quizlet. Reread my notes, my study guide notes that I made for Unit 1 and Unit 4 of Gov. I had to come downstairs because I was trying to do stuff in bed and I kept falling asleep. So I'm working downstairs now. I'm going to hammer some practice multiple choice and then look at some examples of like good short responses. We know the type of prompt we're getting. I don't know what the content is going to be for the prompt, but I know the type of question that we need to answer for the FRQ, so I'm going to look at a rubric for that and look at some sample responses and stuff. A little chicken and rice, a little Heimler. Learning how to write this concept application FRQ for the test tomorrow. Read 40 maximum for the workout.
AP Gov went really well that morning. 8 a.m. test, so it was definitely hard to get out of bed, especially after studying all night. But once I got there, it was pretty smooth sailing. The multiple choice was really easy. FRQ was light, especially because he hinted to us what it was going to be about. He didn't tell us exactly what was going to be on it, but he told us some terms to brush up on. So once I made some notes for those and reviewed them, it was really easy because when I got into the prompt, I was like, oh, this is what he wants us to talk about. And I had those terms on the top of my head. Only thing that didn't go well with the test was someone pulled the fire alarm with about 5 minutes left. So there were 3 people left in the room and me. And I was just about to turn my test in, and then the fire alarm goes off. We have to go outside in the freezing cold. I have to grab my jacket. We can't talk to each other, obviously. So then we just have to stand there in silence in the cold and wait for them to turn off the fire alarm so I could go back in. And at that point, I was just ready to get out of there. So I got back in, looked it over one more time, and then turned in the test and got straight to the gym. It was push day, which is my favorite day of my whole split. Always look forward to Thursday for that reason. Had a fun lift because I was down to my last test. Just felt really close to the culmination of all my hard work. So I kept reminding myself that, you know, it's not over yet. Still have that bio test tomorrow to get through because I didn't want to get complacent and miss points on that. That was definitely a big fear of mine. But at this point in the week, I was feeling pretty good. I just had one more test to do, and I had pretty much all day to study for it because how early Gov was. After the lift, I ended up studying with my friend Olin at the fire department, and I don't study with others often. I usually just like to focus on things alone in my room, maybe listen to some music, maybe just locked in with no music. But I decided to try out studying with a partner, and I actually really enjoyed it. One of my favorite studying methods is to explain something out loud to myself, so I was able to apply that to another person, which is great because they can ask you questions, you can ask them questions when you're not sure what you're talking about, and we really just built off one another, and we were able to have a great study session. So in the future, I definitely want to study with partners more. I guess it's something I've underutilized to this point because that was really my first time doing it seriously, and I really, really enjoyed it.
And my boy Owen at the firehouse, locked in on bio, last test. 7 p.m. Dad's coming home with some sushi right now. Did at studying at the firehouse. Just got a shower after dinner. I'm gonna do some practice questions, some FRQs, just go over some topics that I'm not completely sure about. And then I think I have an idea of what the FRQ is gonna be, so I'm gonna like draft that. I think we're gonna have to write an essay on the difference between mitosis and meiosis, but I'm not sure. But I feel like she hinted at it in class, so I'm gonna draft that just in case.
That night, I went over everything from our 55-term review sheet again, taking notes, doing practice problems, and anything that was a little fuzzy in my head. Then I redid some short response questions from class, and I drafted an essay on the difference between meiosis and mitosis, which did end up being one of the short response questions. I went to bed pretty late considering I had a 10:15 exam the next day, I think around 1 a.m. after I ate and showered and everything, but I felt really prepared for my test, which is all that really mattered to me. And then on the walk to school the next day, I listened to some Amoeba Sisters on YouTube in my AirPods.
Coming back from the gym now, about to get home, 4:30 p.m. I'm gonna play some FIFA with my brother, I think. Test today, biology this morning, a little bit harder than I thought. But still pretty good. Still feel like I did well on it. Got the extra credit right, so that was good. Didn't even know there's gonna be extra credit, so that was pretty lucky. Then went to the gym, pretty mid workout, back in biceps, so didn't record anything from there. Like, trying to deadlift. I didn't really get what I was going for. I wanted to double with 455. I only got one. Yeah, workout was just pretty mid. I was alone. It wasn't that fun, so didn't record anything. But that's the end of the midterm week vlog. So I hope you guys enjoyed this if you watched this all the way through. And you know, that's the first half of senior year done. So let's go.